Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Toon review for tonight's match preview between Aston Villa and Newcastle United. I definitely have the right show tonight. So, yeah, very well prepared for that. There's three of us here. I don't know where Jack is. He's, I don't know. Literally, I have no idea. But I hope he's not waiting for the link, Billy, because obviously he doesn't need it. You know. It is what it is. We shall continue. A lot to get through. Obviously, previewing the game itself. The mysterious man that is known as Allan Saint-Maximin. Obviously, I released a video earlier on today saying he was out 4 to 6 weeks. Then we see a post on Instagram of him running in France. However, what I will say is I'm a little bit fed up with these videos that Maxi posts when he's injured, because it does me head in a little bit. And he puts this like thing saying coming soon as if it's like a new movie or something like that. And it really annoys me. And I'm thinking to myself, if he's running like that, why is he not in this country running with the rest of the team?
How do we know it's 4 to 6 weeks? Who said that?
It was reported by Jordan Cronin from Newcastle World this morning. That it was.
And he's got that from where?
It was. I don't know. It was a grade 2 hamstring injury, so he was expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks, which is the norm for a grade 2 hamstring injury. But my point is, Alex, why is he running like that? Because if he's running like that, there is no reason he should not be in this country running at the training ground.
Yeah, look, with all due respect to Jordan Cronin and the Newcastle World, I'm not going to listen to that until it's been confirmed in the press conference, because it doesn't marry up with anything we've been told in the last week by Eddie Howe. We've not yet heard from him at from a press conference.
That is very true.
So I'm just going to wait and hear from Eddie Howe, whether it's going to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, up to 6 weeks. We don't know. Maybe he does, but I don't know him. So therefore,
but does it not frustrate you, Alex, when you see him putting videos like this on Instagram? And Billy, you were nodding in agreement with me there, because I know
it depends on the answer to your previous question. It depends. If the 4 to 6 weeks is nonsense, if Jordan Cronin's got it wrong, then that's a fine video.
You can see why people are thinking it's nonsense, because it's 4 to 6 weeks and then he's running along the course.
Another week. Why don't we give him the benefit of the doubt? Why have we got to go witch hunt mode? Why?
I'm not going witch hunt mode, Alex. What I'm saying is,
I would rather defend Maxi than Jordan Cronin. I don't know Jordan Cronin.
That is fine. But I'm saying,
I don't get it.
If he's running like that, Alex, my point is that is obviously not a grade 2 hamstring tear. If he's running like that, so that would say to me, why is he in the south? Why is he in France?
That's a sprint. He's sprinting along a coastal whatever, wherever he is.
You can't do that with a grade string hamstring tear. So why is he not over here? That's my point.
It's not like light jogging away from the squad. He's doing sprints.
Yeah. So why isn't he with the squad?
The only explanation is he's a bit of a tit, and that was recorded.
I didn't expect that.
And that was recorded before he got injured. That's the only other explanation that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I did not expect you to say that.
Jordan Cronin's wrong. It's one or the other. And I'm going to believe our player. I'm sorry, I don't know Jordan
Cronin.
Right,
I'm happy to do that, Alex. I haven't got a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is him putting these like coming soon things on his Instagram as if he's like a superstar movie man.
But Bruno does it and we love it.
Well, Bruno does it because he's fit
it all the time. He's got a team that does it.
Because Bruno's playing.
Wow.
Maxi does it and he only plays 2 or 3 games and then he's out for a few weeks every time.
Everyone questions his commitment to the cause. So he puts these videos, working hard, trying to get back. Well, the fire's there. Isn't that a good thing?
Well, Billy, is Maxi made of glass? That is a question that a lot of Newcastle fans are wondering today.
Has he been brought
because he doesn't seem to be able to play more than 2 or 3 games and then he's out.
I prefer to think he's been brought back too soon, to be honest. You need to give him a sustained period of rest and let the injury heal, then bring him back in. But Eddie Howe's
he looked fit, Billy. He looked 100%. He looked fitter than he'd been in a long time. We all said that.
Yeah, he had 2 good games, but before that, he was fits and starts, wasn't he? He looked like he was back in the swing of things. I don't think that sprinting video, if it was done now, I don't think he looks 100% fit running in it. I'm just be honest. He is favouring one side of his body. He just got a bit of a limp. He doesn't sprint like that in real time. I'm not sure. I think it's...
If you've got a hamstring injury, you don't run like that at all. I mean, it's bizarre. It's really bizarre.
I see that, I'm going to lose my brag. Like, if you're a physio and you see them upload that, you'll be like, what are you doing? Surely.
Imagine, right, you've gone to France, right, which is, I don't have a problem with going to France for treatment, not a problem at all, right? But if you're a Newcastle United physio or Eddie Howe, and you're seeing Maxi posting from France on Instagram of him tooting along next to a lovely Riviera, like at almost a sprint speed, you're going to think, what in the holy hell is this man doing? Surely.
It's an old video. It must be. It can only be that. And he's saying, this will be me soon. And
like I'll be back to this soon. Yeah, but I mean, it can't be the latest one.
Will shed some light on it. I'm hoping. Again, this is what I've tried to ask Keith Downey. I know they don't coordinate to it. You know, they've got their own time to do what they do. But you know, we could do with. This is where they earn their money, essentially. We could do with them asking the right questions. You know, Jordan Cronin's reported this, or certain sources have reported this. We've heard 4 to 6 weeks. How is Maxi? He's in France. Is he going to be back this month for the next fixture? Like, you know, ask the right questions. Hopefully they will. Fingers crossed they will.
It's just really confusing because, you know, you look at what Eddie Howe had to say when he was first injured. He says it's a precautionary measure to keep him out. He doesn't think it's serious. And then the next thing we know, Maxi's in France. Next thing we know, it's been reported that he's out 4 to 6 weeks, which is possibly the majority of the remainder of the season. And then we see Maxi, like Mr. T, running along the bloody Riviera. I mean,
there's been Chinese whispers somewhere, whether it's
absolutely
something's gone wrong somewhere. Somebody's not got the right information, obviously. We just need to find out which part it is.
He always recuperates in France, doesn't he, whenever he's got an injury. So I wouldn't read too much into that sort of it. Warm weather and all that.
Listen, whatever you think, I mean, it's frustrating me. It really is because, like you say, Alex, I just want a journalist to go in there tomorrow with Eddie and get some definitive answer. Push him on it. You know, get a definitive answer. Tell us what is wrong with Maxi, or just say it's been dealt with in-house. He's not going to say anything. Just put it to bed.
Instead of saying 6 times, Eddie, do you think you're ready for the Champions League now?
Yeah.
No comment. Eddie, do you think you're ready for the Champions League now? Again, no comment. They literally just will not stop asking silly questions that he's not going to answer. They repeat themselves time and time again. And Eddie's like, well, no.
Yeah. Nathan says, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Nathan. And I'm tuned into TTR. To top it off, I have to pick the missus up from work at 11. What a life. Hey, we all have that kind of thing going on. Haroldinho, good evening to you. Davey, good evening. Geordie Howieman says, not sending out good signals, these Instagram posts.
It might not be his fault. It might be. We can't all just jump on.
Well, whoever's advising him, Alex, if he's been advised by somebody, they need a right kick up the arse because it's causing all sorts of confusion.
Maybe he's not checked.
It's how you look into it. It's how you look into it. He's. This is what my take of it is. This is what's going to be coming soon. I will be back with you soon. Simple as that. Yeah. You know,
he's a normal bloke. You've got to remember. Maybe he's back with some family. Maybe he's woken up this morning. He's been with some family. He's not checked the news back home. He's gone for a run because he's been told he can go for this run. He's recorded a video. He's happy as Larry. Boom! Everybody's losing their mind back home. What's going on for 6 weeks? He could just be it could be really innocent. Like, we don't know. We just don't know.
Look, I don't. Apparently, he was on Sky Sports News this morning as well about his injury. So. It wasn't just Jordan Cronin. To be fair to Jordan Cronin, the stuff he's reported in the past has been honest and true. Jordan Cronin isn't a reporter that makes bullshit about a fresh air. I actually like Jordan Cronin.
I just don't know him, and I would rather, you know, if it's
he obviously didn't want to give his source away.
Journalistic sources, yeah, obviously you can quantify who's going to be more reliable. But Jordan Cronin versus the club, I mean, I'm just going to wait. You know, I'm going to wait and hear what the clubs say.
Fair enough. Wes says, good evening, TDR family. Hope everyone is well. Julie J, good evening. Toon team have been given a few days off. I would have thought so, yes. Certainly earlier on this week. George says, only Eddie, Maxi and the physios know the truth on Maxi's injury at the end of the day. I'm with Alex on that one. Nathan says, fake news until out of Eddie's mouth. Lee says, evening lads, come on the mighty Toon Army. Ball Geordie says, as soon as I saw Daily News, my opinion is injury or being kept away pre-sale. I think he's off abroad. A lot of people have said that he'd be going in the summer because, look, at the end of the day, whatever we think of Maxi, he's injured a lot. He is injured a lot. And look, I did stick up for him on the video and I said, look, you find this sometimes with these sort of dribbling players who rely on pace and sprints and things like that. They do tend to get injured more than others. Although there's a few players in the Premier League who do this who never seem to get injured. But it is, it's kind of meeting in the middle with it. You've got to expect these niggles from somebody who is an explosive player, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, look at Miggy. We pushed him really, really hard, and unfortunately, it happens. You can get these injuries. I mean, who else have we had? I mean, Gordon, fortunately, is a lot younger, unless you get really unfortunate in the tackle or with a stud getting stuck in the ground. Generally, if you're kept all right, you're better off when you're a lot younger. Touch wood.
Yeah.
But once you start to,
the best example is pre-Eddie Howe, Callum Wilson. Brought back way too early, getting injured all the time.
Well, it's not. I'm not on about that. Yeah, of course that's a factor, but I'm just on about the intensity we play, and rotation, the necessity for rotation. Obviously, Murphy's come in during Miggy's injury and has done all right, but we couldn't have predicted that. If you remember, it wasn't that long ago. Murphy played against Tranmere. We all gave him ones, and we all said no, absolutely not good enough. He shouldn't play again this season. And then he's come back in and he's been absolutely great. So, well, I say great. That might be a bit of an overstatement. He's been adequate. But Miggy just got pushed way too hard. Maxi hasn't been pushed too hard. It's just, it's like you said, it's that sort of player. He made, a 96th minute recovery sprint against Wolves. And it's made his whole season stop-start, unfortunately. Yeah. It's been like that since then.
George says, even if Maxi isn't out 4 to 6 weeks, why is he running in France? He should be like everybody else, get rehab with the team. Now, look, I'm not saying George is right what he's saying there, but I'm saying this is what the Instagram post, the confusion it causes, Alex, because it asks a lot of fans who are saying, well, if he's sprinting like that, why is he over there? I can understand if he's walking along the Riviera, limping away, but sprinting like that gets me confused.
The sprinting bit, because we don't know what the medical instructions are. Maybe that's fine. But him returning to France is fine. I
ain't got a problem with that. I'm fine with that.
I don't know
a lot of players do
it.
I
apologise, I'm going to be harsh, but I think that is extremely targeted and unnecessary because we have the Swedish lads go back to Sweden. We've got Manquillo goes back to Spain. They go and spend time where they're from. Like, unless you've lived abroad or you're from abroad, you don't know what it's like. You want to go home sometimes. If you're injured, if you've been told, like, this is your rehab, you can come in, get a massage and sit on a bike for an hour, or you can go do that with your family. Go and take a week off. Of course they're going to go back to their family. Like, I do apologise if this is offending anybody, but it's how it is. If you're from another place, you've got to give these lads the benefit of the doubt. These are lads who are between, 20 and 25 years old, most of them. Yeah. They're foreign. Not all of them have got the best English. They don't have their family here necessarily. If they've been told by the club doctor, just go back for 5 days. Go see your mum, your dad, your grandparents. Go do your rehab, follow your instructions, and then come back and report back and then crack on with team training when you're ready. What's wrong with that? Why do we attack Max for it? The other lads. I don't get it.
Abs is saying to me, it's not for you, Paul, to say where Maxi carries out his rehabilitation. If the club are happy, then what's the issue? I didn't say that at all, Abs. If you listen to me, I said I don't have a problem with Maxi going back to France for rehabilitation. Players do that all the time. What my problem is the sprint thing. I don't understand it. If he's sprinting like that, then why is he not back here now? If he was just, if it was showing him walking, limping or whatever, I don't have a problem. If he's injured, fine. Of course he's going to go there for rehabilitation. It's not a problem. But it's the running that I have a problem with. I don't understand it. And like Billy said, that could be an old video.
1-0 Man United, by the way.
Oh, wonderful.
Sabitzer. Totally finished, to be fair to him.
Yeah. So, Abs, you're getting the wrong end of the stick. I'm not saying it's all about... I don't care where he carries out his rehabilitation. I couldn't give a toot. But what I do give a toss about is when reporters are saying that he's out 4 to 6 weeks, then suddenly a video appears on Instagram of him sprinting. It causes problems. But you know,
I'm going to say it's an old video, and it's just him saying to us, "This
He'll
will
be back
in a
soon."
few weeks' time.
It could be that.
Yeah, it could be. But if that's the case, then word it a little bit better. You know what I mean? Just say,
Yeah, but he's
you know,
not English, is he? It's not his first
Well,
language.
but-
Point, yeah, he's not English, and he might not be aware of any of this. He might have just woken up this morning with his family and just posted a video. Like, he might.
I think his English is better than you guys think, to be honest. But you know, he's been here a while now, and I think all he could have put on that Instagram post is, "I will be back to this very soon." You know, and
Well, he did.
you know,
He put coming soon.
I would have put it to bed.
Yeah, that's what he did put.
No, he didn't. He said
coming soon.
Coming soon, but it could have been worded different to make people understand. I'm just playing devil's advocate here because of all the comments that we've had on that video today and in the live chat now.
You've stated that he should have been more specific and differentiated that. His English might not be good enough to understand that there's a difference in that. He might have thought that was adequate.
Well,
it's you're on about the fine details of language, like
It's caused all sorts of confusion again, and this is what I mean. This is Maxi down to a T. It really is. Alan says, I think this is a previous video to the alleged injury. Ian says, I think that's probably a bit of a tit, like Alex says. Yeah, maybe. Barth says, all French players get hurt in the Premier League if you look. Steve says, again, Maxi had more minutes for us last season than anybody. He's had a rough season, but he's not made of glass.
I didn't think about that. It's a good shout. Did he actually have he did have the most minutes? Surely not. Is that true? I've got to check that.
I'm not sure about that, but
Jack,
Jack is struggling to get on. I'm not sure why. Geordie Boy says, a bit of a tit on a T-shirt, please, with a photo of 5 Hag, of course. Ian does say, I think Maxi is made of glass at the moment, to be honest. Julie J says, I get what Alex is saying. The journal may have got his info wrong. Paul has a point also. If he's running like that, then questions need to be asked. Well, that's what we're saying. I mean, you know, Alex is agreeing. He's not disagreeing that is my point. The running thing, I don't understand.
I don't know
if he's got a grade 2 hamstring strain, he's not running like that.
Yeah, that's the confusion it's brought out. You know, when you see a report with Maxi out for 4 to 6 weeks, I go and do a video on it, then I come back in, I edit the video, I process it, and then I go online and I see Maxi doing a sprint. It confuses people.
Maxi got 2,800 minutes last season. Who was a mainstay last year? Probably Longstaff.
No, he didn't play much with the Bruce, did he?
Willock? Did he play much?
He had a bit of an ankle issue.
He had toe injury as well.
He might have played a lot of minutes, you know. He might have.
2,800 minutes was fine last season. I don't know. 31 starts last year. That's not exactly made of glass, just because he's had a funny season. He made 31 starts last season. That's more than adequate. That's 7 away from the entire Premier League calendar. Like, come on.
Yeah. Jack, 152,861. 152,861. For one last time, 152,861.
Here you are, then. Oh, you're not playing bingo.
Sorry, Billy. No, we're not. It's not that kind of show. Simon says the FA have just announced that no further investigation with the linesman elbowing Robertson.
Ugh.
Wow. I know he's got the weekend off, hasn't he? I guess that must be sufficient punishment for him. Ian says he couldn't run like that if he's got a hamstring injury. Simple. He was training like that in the World Cup if it's the same vid. Yeah, like Billy could be right. It could be an old video with Maxi just saying, I'll be back soon. And that's fair enough. No problem. It's just the running thing confused me rapidly. George says, at the end of the day, we don't know the extent of the injury. He's doing physio. Lay off the man. People are getting the wrong end of the stick here. I'm not having to dig at Maxi. I'm just saying it's confusing. And
I think you might be right. You know, I've about this Maxi minutes last season. By the way, I've checked. I've checked Murphy, Lascelles, Longstaff, Willock, Cher. He's got more minutes last season than any of those. So he might be right with 31 starts. It might be Maxi, to be fair.
Yeah.
Which means you can't beat him with the stick. He's made of glass because 31 starts last season is fine. Like it's loads.
Well, yeah. Oh, look who's decided to join us there. Part-timer there.
The reason being, when you gave me the code to log on at Fan Forum, that was on a laptop. I'm back home on my
All right, so it should keep you in now on your home computer anyway. So
Yes,
there you go.
yeah.
Right. Ian says, so he's either a tit and it's an old video. Oliver says, do you think the Maxi video was filmed last summer? It's an old video. It must be. Is the weather that good in France at the moment? Well, probably in the south of France. I mean, we don't know what part of France he's in, do we? So, Jack, where do you stand on the Maxi thing? You've heard the show so far. Where do you stand?
It's weird because it got reported this morning he's out for 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring. Oh God, 2-0. And then I click on Maxi's story around 12, and he's out running. I'm like, it's a bit strange how he gets reported 4 to 6 weeks out, and then he's out running. So I'm not too sure on it really. Obviously, he's still in France getting treatment. I don't know.
Or sprinting. We're not sure which.
Yeah.
Sprinting for
it's mad. It's mad.
It's a bit of a weird thing that's going on, but I'm not too sure what's going on because he's out injured, but he's out running, so I'm not sure. Well,
I think Billy's right. I think it could be an old video, and he's just saying, "Look, I'll be back soon to this standard of running." JB, you're really messing with Susan here. God help you. Paul's just jealous of Maxi because his better half lets him go abroad. Wow. Okay. Ian, he says, "Oh, he's a tit and going to injure himself again." Steve says, like Billy said, he did look like he had a sore hamstring, but not a serious one. Listen, if I could run like that with a sore hamstring, bloody hell. Yeah. Louis says, just been out for a run along the South Shields coastline, hamstring playing up today for some reason. Keith says he's going to open a pub called the Monumental Bell End. That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
On a bar next to it, a bit of a tit.
Yeah. Scott says, by the way, I do love Maxi, but injuries too many times now.
31 starts last season.
But we can't look in the past, Alex. We have to look to the present.
Excuse me. That's all we did about Callum Wilson. That's not fair. It's literally the whole narrative around the start of the season. Oh, we've got to look at Callum Wilson's past and his fitness. You can't use that in one instance,
Really?
but not the other. That's
Really?
Yeah.
Has Alex been on the meet again, do you reckon?
I'm having a meltdown with these injuries, honestly.
I knew you'd have a meltdown tonight. I knew you would.
I don't get it.
Ian says maybe Maxi just likes a break in France every month.
Neymar in Brazil once a year.
Michael, good evening, buddy. I hope you're well. Nice to see you again. Please give me a ring tomorrow and let me know how you're getting on, mate. So it'd be good to hear from you.
I think his message further on as well. There's another chat from Michael coming, I think.
All right, okay. Wes says, haven't seen the Maxi video, but I'll take a look. Someone should put the Baywatch theme to it.
It's a bit quick. They'd have to speed it up or slow him down.
Some people down in darkness, other people run into the light. I don't know the song, actually. I've never watched Baywatch.
Starring David Hamstring.
Geordie Awayman says, nail on the head. Someone ask Eddie about it tomorrow. Well, yeah, well, how many times have we said that? And it never gets, the difficult questions never seem to get asked, which is a pain in the arse. Straffy says, I'm with you, Stato. Maxi can train where he likes as long as he comes back stronger. Nick says, someone needs to give Maxi a slap and tell him to stop posting bloody videos on Instagram when he's out injured.
Yeah, he could probably do with I'm sure the club have got social media managers and advisors where they talk to the player. They have media training. It's probably just a slip up, or it had all good intentions, and maybe this injury news is a leak. Maybe we don't know the ins and outs of it. It could be. Who knows? Who knows?
Jan, who we know is a big fan of Maxi, of course, says, Alex, you must give up on ASM. Waste of time for us. Ab says, Paul is feeding us fake news and blaming Maxi, it appears to me. You kiss my ass, Abs, right? Fake news, bollocks. I'll tell you what, I report what I'm seeing. Ian says, Jordan is a good lad from what I've seen. Yeah, I absolutely.
I'm not questioning that. I just, it's
I think it's caused more of a stir because Maxi's doing the Baywatch run. He's pretending he's frigging Hasselhoff.
If anybody have reported this, I would have said the same thing. It's not anything against Jordan Cronin at all.
No. By the way, guys, we have recently hit 18,500 subscribers already. So Only last week we were celebrating 18K. We're already on 18.5, which is astounding. We've had a massive influx of subscribers, so welcome to one and all of you. It's fantastic. You guys are here, and the channel is growing rapidly. So thank you very much for that. I just had to mention that because you guys are absolutely incredible. You really are. And hopefully we can just keep growing and growing and growing. And then maybe finally get recognised by Newcastle United to go to these media events. It's 5 days, yeah.
Saturday we went past 18,000. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well done,
It's
lot.
less than a week. It's absolute crazy. It is, but it's all down to those guys out there in YouTube world. So incredible. Thank you very much. It's incredible. I can't say it enough. In the words of Jack, it's sublime. So thank you very, very much. Keep them coming, guys. If you're new to the channel, you like what you see, smash that subscribe button for us and the like button while you're on. I mean, why not? Michael says, sorry, I haven't been getting back to you at the moment. Yeah, I know you are, mate. I know your mum's not well, so that's what I want to speak to you about. Just reach out, mate. Don't sit at home bottling it all up. Just there's loads of people out here who want to help you, mate. So please do get in touch. Ian says Jordan helped us a lot with the Sports Trader Shop, did interviews and articles for us, and was a nice lad. Defo's not the type to bullshit. Look,
my point was it wasn't that he was bullshitting. My point I know his source might be wrong, or I'm not saying it's on him, but there are a lot of points of contact to get to the story.
On the flip side, it could be right. And Maxi's posted that video to say, "I'm coming. I'll be back." We've
not had Craig Hope and who's the other one? I forgot his name now. Telegraph.
Henry Winter. No, he's the Times. But to be fair, Craig Hope's come up with some very weird stories the last few weeks that haven't really made the mind boggle.
It's not been obviously a lot of these guys will have different sources within the club or contacts. So the fact that it's not a general consensus at the moment. Typically, it'll be like you'll get Lee Ryder and Craig Hope and Sky Sports, and they'll all generally say the same thing. Whereas at the moment, I'm not seeing that. So I'm kind of waiting before
on the fence. Alex is yes. Nick Thornton, thank you for your new membership. Welcome to Members Club, my friend. Thank you for your support of the channel. That is very kind of you. Jan says, Alex, you will not convince me. That's like a line out of Star Wars, isn't it? Alex,
I don't need to convince you. You're not worthy if you're not going to support everyone who pulls on a black and white shirt.
Oh, now that's a load of bollocks. No. You cannot say that to a member that his opinion is not worthy, because everybody's opinion is worthy.
No, I didn't say his opinion was not worthy.
You just want a maxi doll that you can cuddle every night when you go to sleep.
You've got to support everybody who pulls on the black and white shirt. If I've had to watch, if we've all had to watch Chris Wood and some of Jamal Lascelles' performances, we've had to watch a back four that's consisted of Ashraf, Lazar, Paul Dummett. Come on,
that's a good point.
All of these lads, and regardless of who they are or what you think of them, you've still got to support them when they pull on a black and white shirt. We've said the same about Anthony Gordon when he's come in. If we sign anybody that we don't like, if we ever end up signing somebody like McTominay, if they pull on a black and white shirt, we've got to support them. I'm not gonna slag people off constantly.
I haven't slagged him off. Let me just point that out. I haven't slagged Maxi off. I am confused. That's all.
Jan will turn up,
and I have stuck up for Maxi all season. I have been quite a Maxi supporter this season. So Carlos, is this the ASM show? No, but it is news, and we bring Newcastle United news. It's a debate about. There's no doubt about it. Was a debate to be had, and we've had that debate. Have you mastered it, Billy?
Let's get on to Aston Villa.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, Steve says, what's this heart thing on the bottom of my YouTube? Haven't noticed that before. I have no idea, Steve. Have you been watching any strange YouTube stuff today? Because, I haven't put any hearts onto the channel, mate, so I don't know what that is. Abs says, okay, Paul, thanks for the clarification. You're very welcome, Abs. Right, let's move on to the game. Billy, this is two very, very informed sides going at it on Saturday lunchtime. And, a lot of people are making it about the managers. For me, it's not about the managers. Yes, we were interested in Emery at one stage. He had a bit of a dodgy start at Villa, didn't he, when he first took over? But he's got his plans implemented well and truly now, and he's turned that club around. It's fair to say, whether we like them or not, he has.
Yeah, he's also had a nice run of fixtures that you'd beg for if you was in a situation where you needed a win pretty quick. The last 4 or 5 games, apart from Chelsea, who really are a mid-table side this year, they've all been teams in the bottom 5. So they've still got to go out and beat. They've still got to go out and beat them as well. But I'm not as hot on the Villa Express train as what a lot of people are. But it can only beat what's in front of you, I guess.
So you're feeling the same about this as you did with Man United, because of course you said this before the Man United game, Billy, that you weren't jumping on the media train of Man United either.
No, I'm not really. No, because as I say, they've played against sides that haven't performed this year. Whether it be Chelsea, whether it be Everton, whether it be whoever they've played the past 3 or 4 weeks. Forest was another one.
Forest, Leicester, Chelsea, Bournemouth, West Ham, and they drew with West Ham and they beat the rest.
There you go. They're all the bottom 5. Well, apart from Chelsea, who, to all intents and purposes,
they're close enough.
Yeah.
Off.
So, it's much ado about nothing as far as I'm concerned. They've still got to go out and beat the teams they've played against, but they're not the side that they're prone to be, and they are high in the league at the moment. They have climbed the table impressively, but you'd expect that, as I say, with the fixtures they've had.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Jack, I don't know how you feel on Villa. I mean, it's going to be a tough game. There is no doubt about it. But Billy's right. They haven't really met a top side. Yes, they're in form, but if we play to our potential, I think if you look at the two teams, surely we play the better football than Villa at the minute.
Yeah, but you got to give respect to Villa. I mean, you're going to beat what's in front of you. Unai Emery's got them playing some very good football without really a transfer window to cope with, really. But look, Chelsea not been performing. They should easily beat them. And they've got some good informed players, which have pushed them through the line. But I feel like we need to go there. And if we play our A game, it'll be a hard lunchtime for Aston Villa. And it's been hard because they've not really been facing these top sides with the likes of Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Tottenham. They haven't really been facing the top sides. So it's going to be interesting how they cope with Newcastle if we turn up like the Newcastle we know. But it's going to be an interesting game, and I do feel like Newcastle would win this game. But it'd be interesting to see how Aston Villa cope against us.
Jason Newton says, Paul, why are you having a go at Stato? Excuse me. I have never once had a go at Stato. Listen.
I mean, you have had many goes at me, but you've not had a go at me today.
I don't know how you friggin' dare. The cauldron that you stir quite most of the time. Anyway, I'd just like to make a point of that. Just because me and Alex have a debate on something, it doesn't mean that we're having a go at each other. Alex will have an opinion on something. I will, Billy will, Jack will. It doesn't mean that we're having a go at each other. That's the good thing about it. We can debate and have different opinions. That's what it's all about. It doesn't mean you have to fall out with anybody or anything like that. It's a debate on a show, which if we didn't do that, it wouldn't be anything. So
I just got to tell him that my opinion's right and his is wrong. That's all it is.
Oh, you sound like Susan.
Down, boys, so I should get attention.
George Rickard says, Alex, calm down, man. You're going to pull a hammy.
I probably will.
Seville shit, I've got to tell you. Absolutely dreadful.
Who?
Sevilla. Oh. Absolutely awful.
Yeah, fall from grace for them, I think. Chris says, just trade Maxi to Man United for McTominay, and the Toon fans hate him. Can hate him properly in a red shirt. No. Actually, somebody did make a point earlier saying, if Leicester offered us Harvey Barnes for Maxi, would you take that deal?
I'd want money.
Yeah, I think I'd want a bit of money as well.
Barnes and money.
But he wouldn't be a bad player to do the swap with, would he?
I don't think that would. I think that's an absolute. It's an interesting question, but it's completely irrelevant. I don't think that would ever, in any universe, be a thing. I think Leicester, if they fall through the trap door, they will sell 2, maybe 3 of their bigger assets Some others might force their way out, and then they will try and keep a good enough squad to bounce straight back up and try and keep their finances in order. I don't think we'd get any funny player swaps like that. I think they would need to sort their books out. They would want some hard cash, a bit like how Everton were demanding money straight up for Anthony Gordon. I think it'd be kind of a, something like that.
Batlax B says, Paul hates Maxi, Alex loves him, and I'm in between. I do not hate Maxi. I've been very pro Maxi. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Alex, your thoughts on the game on Saturday? I mean, do you agree with Billy in the way that obviously they've had easier fixtures to get a run going?
100%. 100%. I don't think they're as good as everybody says. I think they play an ugly brand of football. I think they play a funny, wonky 4-4-2 that turns into a 6-2-2. There's been a lot of statistical analysis about that. I think it's pragmatic, and because he's Spanish, it gets glorified. It's exotic. It's not. If Tony Pulis was doing it, it would be, it's boring football. It's the same. It's because he's Spanish, he gets away with it. His run-in includes... So his run-in, in the last 5 fixtures, within that, he's got to play Man United at Old Trafford. He's got to play Tottenham, Liverpool, and Brighton. Yeah. I think he's potentially going to lose all of those games. They're 9 points behind us now. They're constantly tweeting about us that they're only 9 points behind the Newcastle Super Team. We do have a game in hand, by the way. I'm not a big fan. They have a ludicrously deep pool of talent in that squad. And they should have been performing better in the last 2 years. It's an absolute disgrace. I mean, we'll have a look at the graphics. They have been on a great run of form recently. You consider, let me read out their bench. This is against Forest. Let me read out their bench and injury list. Within that, they've got Traore, Dendoncker, Callum Chambers, Diego Carlos, Luca Digne. They've got Felipe Coutinho, Matty Cash, and Boubacar Kamara on either their bench or their injury list. That is their depth. That's nowhere near their starting 11 that's been winning. So they are ahead of us in terms of schedule. They got money pumped in a little bit sooner than we did. They've got sort of 12 to 18 months on their funny little project. It's not quite the same as us. And they got quite fortunate with Boubacar Kamara on a free transfer, and they just pumped a load of money at him. I do realise I'm going on a bit of a rant, but I just don't feel like Aston Villa are as good as everybody seems to think they are. Jack said, if our A team turns up, we'll be fine. I think if our B team turns up, we'll be fine. I don't think Aston Villa are as good as everybody thinks they are, especially under pressure. I've got graphics to show you later. And within those, they have been outperforming their XG by 6 and outperforming their conceded goals by 6 at a swing of about 12 goals. That is ludicrous, unsustainable, and they will not do it. They will not keep that. They will not keep this up, especially as they go into even harder fixtures as the run-in continues. They will fall off, and they're not going to get European rates. Fact.
Tyrone Mings, Billy. I mean, whenever Tyrone Mings is in a back four, you've always got a chance.
Yeah, I'm such a big fan of him. I loved it when he played for England on the games. He's getting big praise as well now by the Villa fans, and for all intents and purposes, he's been marking, the lower dregs of the Premier League's strikers, and you'd expect Jamal Lascelles to do that. To me, he's marginally better than Jamal Lascelles, and even that's a push. No, he's not a good player. He makes mistakes. Concentration's awful. Attitude's pretty poor when they're losing. We saw that at St James's Park. He was fine while it was 0-0. As soon as we scored, his head dropped and he was gifting goals left, right and centre. A very poor centre-half who should never, ever have played for England.
Jack, for me, the Villa backline can be got at, especially with the players that we have at our disposal. And I had to laugh. I seen a comment on the video today saying that if Joe Linton can bulk up a bit more for next season, and I'm thinking, how?
Where's it going to go?
Ginormous.
Well, I mean, where is that bulk going to go? I mean,
it's going to be Akinfenwa, but Brazilian.
Well,
it's not the look to go for. I tried that and it just went over the top.
So. I think we'll win this game in midfield again. I think we've got too much for them, and I think that's where the game will be won. But again, up front, I mean, we'll come to our team predictions a bit later. But the front three is going to be very interesting again to see who he goes with, Jack.
It is, and if Tyrone Mings does play, and Callum Wilson starts, Callum Wilson loves the game against Tyrone Mings because he bullies him left, right, and centre, Callum Wilson, and he's going to have a tough time against Wilson. But I do think the game will be won in midfield, and I do think we have. I know we have the best midfield, a better midfield than Aston Villa, and Bruno Jolinton will push him off the park, and we'll gain up the pitch, and then we'll finish. Yeah. And I think it'll be an interesting game, and I do think Aston Villa's back line is not good enough, and I feel like we need to utilise that and use that to our advantage and get more goals.
That's why it turns into a back six, mate, because it's crap.
Well, we scored 4 past them in October, so.
I mean, Davey makes a point here, Alex, that Ollie Watkins has his tail up at the moment. We'll have to keep him in check.
Again, it's one of those teams. I said this against Brentford, and even other teams recently. If they score, I can't see them scoring more than 1. So as long as we bring our game, we win that game. As long as we will create enough chances to score 2 or 3 goals. So as long as we convert enough, we win that game 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-0. I'm not scared. As long as we can execute our game plan effectively, I can't see them scoring more than a goal. They've been massively overperforming in that regard, to be fair.
I mean, you know what it is? I don't see this big rigmarole with Ollie Watkins.
He's a good player, but
he's all right. He's a good player, but he's not the way the media make him out to be.
He's a fits and starts striker, isn't he? He won't score for 12 games, and everyone says he's shit, and then he'll score for 6 on the trot, and then as soon as he's saying he's preparing the England squad.
I think if Tammy Abraham still played in the Premier League, Ollie Watkins wouldn't get a look anywhere near the national setup. It's purely because Tammy's moved abroad, and Tammy's absolutely banging him in for Roma and has been for a long time. Although I haven't checked in the last couple of months, so don't trip me up.
Yeah, well, Billy's right. I mean, Billy's right. You know, Ollie Watkins can go and score a couple of goals, and then suddenly they say, "No, he's an England striker." Exactly. I just don't. Nathan says that this is a healthy channel. Great to see genuine, straight-up debate. Exactly. You'll watch some other channels and they'll be like agreeing with each other and doing this and do that. You've got to disagree sometimes, otherwise it's pointless watching. If we're just going to say, "Oh yes, 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 yes." Sophia says, "Hi everyone. I've had a proper laugh at you two. You guys debating about ASM on my way home from work." Alex goes from 0 to 100 in 0.3 seconds.
Just Maxi when he's not got a hamstring injury.
Yeah, absolutely. Clone Lad says there needs to be a Toon Review Stat or Maxi t-shirt. I'm sure Susan's working on it.
I don't have anything with Maxi on it. I need to get a Maxi t-shirt. I don't know why I don't have one. It's because I got Bruno, because you can't not have a Bruno t-shirt.
Yeah. Ashley 80 says, with Alex and Paul, love is always behind the jokes. See? Exactly. David McCreary and Liam O'Brien were great buys from Manchester United.
Hate to be a pedant, but we bought David McCreary from QPR.
I was going to say, I didn't think we got. Where did he play for Man United?
He did start there, to be fair to him, but he went to QPR.
But we didn't buy him from there.
No.
But what a player he was, by the way. Talk about a tenacious midfielder.
About that, you've just reminded me of a conversation I had at work in the last couple of days. I have a Liverpool fan at work, and I mentioned Javier. Oh, I mentioned Javier Manquillo, and he went, "Who?" I was like, "I'm pretty sure he played for you." He did, didn't he? He played for Liverpool.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Just goes to show. There you go. No point to it. It made me embarrassed of the fan base, to be fair.
Yeah. David says
Champions League and everyone comes rolling into Liverpool.
Indeed. David says Barnes doesn't like France. Apparently,
you don't know that.
Paul Sprague says 3-1 Toon win in my opinion. Villa haven't played a team that press like we do. Mings and Co will give us chances under pressure. But it's very important, Jack, that we stay strong at the back, isn't it? That we don't fall asleep like we've done in certain 45 minutes of the last couple of games.
Yeah, stay focused. I mean, this is the Premier League, not the National League. Any team. No game in the Premier League is easy, but you've just got to make it easy for yourself. Stay switched on. Do not give any away silly mistakes. Keep on the ball. If need to, pass around the back. If need to, get back to the goalkeeper. Stay in possession. Don't give away silly mistakes because Aston Villa can have a good counter-attack and score. Just stay switched on because sometimes we've been conceding the odd goal. I mean, we've not really conceded more than one, but we have conceded normally one goal a game. So we need to kind of, apart from the Man United game, of course, but I'm rambling on now. Just stay switched on. And if we stay switched on and rely on the attackers and midfielders, we should it should be a comfortable game and we should win it comfortably. But
I wish I had a tenner for I wish I had a tenner for every time you said switched on there.
And remember, the National League. The National
absolutely.
League,
but remember, guys. Yes, remember. Brexit is breakfast. Now get out of the country. By the way,
just breakfast.
What?
I said Brexit is breakfast. Did I? Oh shit!
Yeah, he said it twice.
I've had a Castori right there.
It's a fucking dog's dinner. That's what it is.
It is. Cheers for the support, Billy, as usual. By the way, just a quick one on Gateshead. How about how well have they turned their season around? By the way, they were looking like proper relegation fodder in the conference, and now they're up to mid-table. They thrashed Eastleigh last night 5-2, and Eastleigh are in a playoff spot. I mean, it's an incredible
turnaround. The National League's one of the best leagues in the country.
Well,
I love the National League.
That was a cracking game with Wrexham and Notts County, and big up to Ben Foster as well, mate. I mean, Christ, what a save that was in such a precious situation. Paul says, Paul and the lads, well done presenting the top show. I don't know why you were surprised with 18.5K plus. Look, whatever we get to, it'll always surprise us. It really will. We're very humble when it comes to that. It's just we rely on you guys for this channel to keep going. Super chats and memberships and things like that, and you pull it out the hat every friggin' week. So you're just incredible. Because without you guys out there, we've got nothing. I'd be distraught doing the show to 15, 20 people, and it's to have like nearly 1,000 is incredible. Ashley says, I'd keep Maxi is not low on the pecking order, so why sell him? We need more greats for next season, not less. I rate him higher than Anthony at Man United. I don't think Anthony's anything at Man United, to be honest. I think he's just a flash in the pan. Him, and
Wayne Sleep,
Eredivisie.
Hey, he looks like a thug. He looks like a prisoner.
He looks like a Charlison.
And he does. Yes,
he's a bit like Amron. He's allergic to his right foot.
Yeah. Our midfield needs to be better than theirs. McGinn and Ramsey playing well, but we've got Bruno in the middle. I mean, McGinn is a good player, Alex, who does cause a lot of teams problems. He's very tenacious. He's very physical as well, but can play on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be. It's not just going to be about him, but he's going to be dangerous in transition. It's going to be players like Buendia and McGinn, potentially Luis a little bit in terms of the aggression. It's going to be transition that we've got to be careful of. I'm not particularly scared of their tackling ability. When I was prepping for the show, I think they are in tackling. Where is it? Successful tackles per match. They're 17th in the league for that. They're absolutely mid-table for most things statistically, bang average in the middle, and then for tackles and interceptions and everything like that, they're really, really low. They don't like pressing high up the pitch. They're poor in the tackle. They will just sit in a block. It's all about blocks and clearances, defending for their lives. So if we can just bombard, we've just got to be careful in transition. As we've said, I think Jack was talking about that, about concentration. The same thing that kind of Man United punished us for in the final. We're still in the Premier League. Some of these players have got it in them to produce moments of quality. Players like Buendia, there's no reason they can't pull a ball out the air, do a chop, and score from 25 yards. This is the Premier League. Anybody can do that. We are talking about the top
pull the
league.
Ball out the air, do a chop.
Everybody can do those kinds of things. We're in the best league in the world. These players can do that for a reason. He's a bit of South American flair. He can do that kind of thing, can't he?
Very true.
I don't know if Mings could quite do that, but I think Buendia could probably pull it off. So we've just got to be careful. But on paper, again, they're not super dangerous.
The interesting one for me is Bruno against Douglas Luiz, who somehow has managed to keep Bruno out the last Brazil squad. Makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Wow.
Makes no sense. And if you think you saw Bruno performing at a high level the past 2 weeks, past two games, I think we'll see an even bigger progression this week because he's going to put a prove a point to the Brazil manager. He really is, because Douglas Luiz isn't fit to lace Bruno's boots, let's be honest.
Can I just mention something we haven't spoken of yet, which is that Leon Bailey is injured, and he's an integral part of their funny 4-4-2 with Watkins and Bailey. Bailey offers that pace. He's not fit, so they could change something.
I just better put a warning out to Antonio because it's not tomorrow, it's Saturday, mate. So if you're wanting to watch a game tomorrow, you won't see it.
It could be in Australia.
I think it's tomorrow in Australia.
Well, shut up. David says, I think the Russians planted that video of Maxi running in Benwell. Oh, my God. Sevilla have Castore jerseys too.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, dear. What?
It's 20-6. No, 10-6.
Yes, it is. They're 12 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, just checking.
Shut up. Ashley, he says, I feel our team is getting to be a who's who. Some of Villa's are who's that. Very well put indeed. Lee says, evening all, what's your thoughts on starting Elliot Anderson on Saturday? Would love to see what he can do with more minutes. He's a funny one, Elliot Anderson, because he came on against Forest, played brilliantly, and then we haven't seen him since. We've seen him for like 30 seconds. I mean, Billy, is there any chance that we go into that game on Saturday and play the same formation we did in the second half at Brentford?
No, I don't think so. I think a week further on with a week of rest in the legs, I think you'll see the usual 4-3-3.
Would you like to see a change?
No. Well, yes, I would like to see a change in the lineup, but not in the formation.
Right, fair enough.
What about Elliot Anderson?
I wouldn't play with Elliot Anderson Saturday.
No,
I'd be scared of him starting and making a few track back or positional mistakes against Buendia.
Yeah.
I would like to see Isak and Wilson more, though. That's one thing I'd like to see more.
Well, I mean, they looked brilliant together. Every time we've seen them in the brief times that we've seen them together this season, they have looked.
Though.
Oh, it has to be.
With
You
the
can't leave
shakiness of
Isak
the
out
Villa
in the minute.
defence,
Yeah.
we've got to go with the more pressy forward, which at the moment is definitely Isak.
And look, I know some people have been saying, "We'll start Isak on the left." That's not going to happen, guys. I think Willock and Joe Linton, for me, it'll be the two that'll be alternating on the left-hand side again. I really do think that Eddie Howe really does like that.
So I do love how he puts. He likes to move Isak around. Bless you.
I didn't
During
get the mute
game,
button
though.
in time. Damn it! I nearly blew my head off there. Woo!
He does move Isak around mid-game, which I love, because you remember that goal he scored. Eddie told him to go out on the left for 10 minutes and let Maxi go up top and just mix things up, confuse defenders, pull different spaces open up. So I love that he won't start him obviously out on the left, but he will utilize changing it up a bit, which is what we were all talking about earlier on in the season about changing people around up front.
Indeed. Alex, get your graphics ready, matey, and I'll pop them up on the screen in a second. Paul Geordie says, it's great for Toon Review to be honest and debate fairly. I bet Billy has had a mass debate now and again.
Oh, for God's sake.
Son, if you keep doing that, you'll go blind. Dad, I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, dear. Barth says, I'm buzzing. We are buying young players. This new goalkeeper we just got. Yeah, young kid, 19-year-old signed as well. So, again, building for the future, which is a great thing. Right. Take it away, Mr. Stato.
Okay, so this is the Villa lineup against Forest. So this is the one they've just used. They have been using this 4-4-2 for a little while now. It seems to be Emery's thing. They do like to drop into a 6-2-2 in a very funny block, and people have been really struggling to break it down. So one of the reasons why I do want to start Isak and potentially even Gordon ahead of Murphy, just for a bit more, although Murphy's press is actually really tidy, to be fair, is to just attack these two. Just really attack. Although they are likely to have if we're attacking, it's gonna drop into it's gonna start looking like this, which is how Villa's. It does end up looking like this. And it's horrible because they will float out there and they'll float across, and it's just so hard to break down because they just play such Tony Pulis football. I mean, even Tony Pulis's football is more exciting than Emery's, to be fair. So this is the likely lineup without Leon Bailey. He is injured, so I'm going to throw him away. I don't know if that's going to mean a formation change or if they're just going to try and go with a like-for-like replacement. I would imagine they're just going to go with a like-for-like replacement and play somebody up here. So we've got the injury list, which is... so Traore is the one who's been coming on and has scored a few goals recently. So I'd imagine it might end up looking like that, to be fair. They do have Carlos on the bench, who of course we were going to sign, but we got Botman instead. They've got Callum Chambers in there. Oh God, I took his circle away from him. Oh, I'm spinning him. I didn't know I could do that. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Dendoncker, of course, I'm confused as to why. I don't understand that transfer. That was bizarre. Digne has a lot of quality, but it doesn't seem to be favoured by the defensive managers. He does not, like Benitez and Emery both don't seem to be super keen on him. Matty Cash is out injured. He would definitely be starting left back if he was fit. Coutinho's had a funny season, but at least they don't have a trickster they can bring on. Bailey's obviously out. Kamara would be sort of ahead of Luis, I would imagine, in this lineup if he was fit. So, I'd say they've got a lot more depth than we have, to be completely fair. But I do think this is definitely a team to be got at. We've just got to be careful in transition. If they're going to soak up pressure and then all of a sudden they're going to go boom, Buendia sort of runs up the pitch and we've got a little triangle going of Watkins, Buendia, Traore, all running at Trippier on Share on the back foot. We've got to be careful. We've got to be careful because this team can score if we switch off. They're not awful.
Surely, Alex, we have to target Ashley Young. We have to target him with pace.
You would imagine
he hasn't got any left.
Again, McGinn / I mean, Ramsey's going to be that. I would imagine Ramsey's going to be slightly higher up the pitch. He will come back and do a lot of defensive work. He's got a lot of legs. He's very young. McGinn likewise is good in the tackle, very aggressive, very hardworking. So it's not going to be easy to break them down. But I still think we're going to create enough chances to score at least 3 goals. We just need to be clinical. We always get into positions. We just need to make sure we're clinical. So if we have a look at Villa, there you go. This was their funny lineup. And if you notice against Forest, their man of the match or their star player was Martinez. And if we go down and have a look at their XG for this game, they won 2-0, but they did only accumulate 1.3 XG. So again, this
Jonjo
is
got a good assist in that game.
It is.
So this is the story of them recently, is 2 big chances, only 8 shots, but managed to win 2-0 and come away quite, and there was the Chris Wood injury. Out for season. Oh, dear. This is their Leicester game as well. They won that 2-1, and they only accumulated enough XG for 1 goal, only 1 big chance. They're just being hyper-clinical with it. They really are. So we got our
gifted
stats
goals.
Here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Chelsea gifted them 2, didn't they?
I didn't watch that one, but actually, no, I think I did see those goals.
Gifted them, yeah. Probably just give them.
So in terms of statistics, average possession, 10th. The general rating for the season for FOTMob, 9th. Goals per match, 9th. Goals conceded, 9th. XG, 11th. They are bang average for most of the statistics. They've got 10 clean sheets, which is really tidy. They're middle of the park for big chances created. Slightly worse than middle of the park for big chances missed. Shots on target, and again, 9th, 10th. They are middle of the park for these kinds of things. Crosses, they're really, really low with those, which is surprising considering their wide quality that we've been listing off with your Dignes and your Buendias. I would have expected their accurate crosses to be a little bit higher than this. And look who's in first.
I know. I'm going to stop saying about our crosses because I think they're wonderful.
Well, the problem is we have such a high cross volume that we see all the bad ones, but we do still deliver the most accurate ones. We just deliver a lot of bad ones as well.
Yeah.
So possession won in the final third per match is incredibly low, down in 17th. Clearances, again, really poor. Successful tackles, really poor. So I'm going to be irritated if we lose to this team. I think they're a good, solid, middle of the pack Premier League team at the moment. They're playing well. They're outperforming themselves. I do have Kev's Twitter post to show you guys as well, but I'm going to have to move a page over. So if you bear with me 1 second.
While he's doing that, Peter, thank you for becoming a new member of the channel, matey. Really do appreciate that. Welcome to Members Club. Thank you for your support. And we've got a comment from Fanny Schmeller. Fanny says, TDR is the best NUFC show on YouTube. Quick question for Paul is, would you still have continued with the channel if the takeover never went through? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look, I was doing it well before the takeover. I'd have still done it. I don't know whether I'd still be alive because I probably would have died of a heart attack or blood pressure or something like that, given how angry that cabbage made me on a weekly basis. So yeah, there you go, Alex.
So another Kev post, he put something out the other day. So if you don't follow Kev on Twitter, I would highly recommend it because he does brilliant stuff from Way I Scout and Stats Bomb. So this is their XG difference. So this might just look like a graph to you, but this is their outperformance. They should not be doing this, essentially. So let me scroll down to show you what this more looks like. So you've got their shots for and their shots against since January the 1st. Shows that from open play they've scored more than the XG average, so they're running 6 more than the XG average, and they conceded less, so they're 6 fewer than the XG conceded average. So this overperformance at both ends at the same time rarely lasts. So statistically, Aston Villa are massively overperforming at both ends of the spectrum in terms of defensive expected output and offensive expected output. And just for context, Kev's also given us the graph of what we looked like last year on our run-in when we were doing really well. We had our funny unbeaten run and we looked really good. So this is our gap between our XG to score and our XG conceded. This was our tiny little gap here in our run-in. And if you go up and have a look at Villa's gap, massive overperformance. They're not going to be able to sustain this at all. They are a good side, but especially this run of form will start to take a dip, and then they're going to have, like we said, they got Manchester United, they've got Tottenham, they've got Brighton, all of these teams in the run-in. It's just whether they can ride the wave of luck in these last sort of 10. How many fixtures they got? I think they played 20. I think they played 30. So they've got 8 more fixtures. Whether they can ride this out another 8 fixtures and keep their luck going, they might be able to do that. But it's not going to last forever. There is no chance.
Yep. Guys, just a quick one as well. If you are enjoying the show, don't forget to hit that like button for us. It's crucial that you keep hitting that like because it does keep us right up there in the search results. When I was putting the tags into the video descriptions today, there's a software I use that puts a rating up for the tags from 0 to 100%. And the Toon review is currently at 100%. So it means that a lot of people are finding the channel. A lot of people are searching for the channel as well. So thank you very much for doing that. So the likes really, really do help. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. Come and join this fantastic community we have here tonight in the chat. Free to do so. And also that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or upload. And of course, you can donate to the channel if you wish by hitting the $ right underneath the live comments. And if you do that, you're guaranteed to get your comment read out as well because it comes straight to the top of the screen for me. And finally, don't forget, guys, on Sunday, Newcastle women's team in action at St James's Park. They are looking to try and get over 30,000 for the game. I'm taking the family as well. It should be a fantastic atmosphere again. It always is at the ladies' games. But I know that Becky's been on various social media outlets, as have the players, to try and ramp up some support for them and get some more tickets sold. So please, if you're not doing anything Sunday, nothing planned, get yourselves to St James's Park and give the lasses a good cheer on because I think they've got 4 games left and they need to win them all and score quite a few goals. So it's still all to play for. So it's a massive game for them at St James's Park, and hopefully they can bang in a few goals and hit that promotion trail. So please get yourselves there. Kick-off is 2:00. It should be a fabulous atmosphere. So good luck to Becky and the girls. Geordie Howe man says, I forgot about Ashley Young, another little whingy barstool. Billy, we've got to target him, surely.
Well, he'll be diving around all over the shop. He's the original bloody Bruno Fernandes, isn't he? I can't stand him. Actually, I'm struggling to think if I hate Bruno or him more because Ashley Young's been doing it for years and years and years. Horrific player. Was a good player 15, 20 years ago. Was in the side that relegated us, actually, that horrible day. Back then, many years ago. It's just always been the same, though. Whingy, whiny, divey, horrible fucker. Excuse my language.
Excuse your language. I think that's the only time you've ever said that on this channel. Excuse your language.
I could have said far worse.
Well, he's nearly 38-year-old, Alex, which is astounding.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of frustrating that Max is injured. If he couldn't have just held on for this game, because him running, because you remember what he did to Seamus Coleman, like it's going to be the same thing. But it's a shame. I'm sure whoever we play on that left side.
Indeed. Jan says, Paul, the clue is in the name, Fanny Schmeller. Actually, Fanny Schmeller is a real person, Jan. She is a skier. So I'm not sure that's the real one in the chat tonight, however, but there is a Fanny Schmeller. So just to put you right there. Paul says, Paul, did you keep goal for Durham Wasps or Durham Warriors? It's Whitley Warriors. No, I was a defenseman. BVM says, breaking news, guys, Alex from TTR has signed an 8-year contract with Sky Sports. Something you're not telling us, Alex?
No.
Okay. Fanny's back again, saying hitting the like is the most important thing to gain likes, so come on, hit that like. Thank you, Fanny. David says we will have too much for Villa and Isak will rip them a new one. Who's referee, actually? Is it
John Brooks?
Nigel Kennedy.
Who?
John Brooks.
John Brooks.
Who
the hell is he?
John Brooks, yeah.
Oh, God.
John Brooks. I shall
Probably
have a
know the
look.
correct
He's a
referee,
New York State Senator. It's definitely not him. Premier League referee. He was promoted in June 2021. So he's a recent ref then. Oh, I know him.
Where's he from, though? That's the question.
I think he's English.
He probably, yeah.
He was born in Leicestershire, in Melton Mowbray.
Oh, fucking ain't far away. That's only fucking 25, 30 mile away. That's fucking ridiculous, that.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put Andre Mowen in charge and be done with it?
Interesting.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Davey Am in the Leazes end as well, just behind the goal, mates. Well, halfway up. I'm actually just sitting a couple of rows behind my season ticket anyway. So, yeah, I might catch you there, Davey. If you see me, come and say hello. Because I think Susan's running a little competition, by the way, guys. If any Toon Review fans out there spot me on Sunday, you have to come up and say, I love Daisy the cow, and you will win a Toon Review mug. So there you go. A little bit of a... No, why is it dangerous? It's a bit of fun amongst the Toon Review crew. What's?
Yeah, because if you end up getting like 300 people saying it,
first one to do so wins.
First one. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was first one.
Jesus, Alex. No, just the first one. The first couple after that might get a few key rings and stuff, but we'll see. We'll see. So, yeah. But Susan's yet to confirm that. Fanny says she's the real Fanny from Germany. Well, there you go. Great to have you, Fanny.
I have
been going downhill for a while.
I knew that was coming. Yeah.
I've got some on John Brooks, but it's not very positive.
Oh, come on, then hit us. You may as well.
So on, December 2021 was his first Premier League match between Wolves and Burnley. But on the 11th of February this year, he wrongly ruled out a goal by Brighton and Hove Albion against Crystal Palace. An emergency meeting was convened by the PGMOL head Howard Webb after the incident. Following the meeting, John Brooks was subsequently dropped for matches for his next two matches.
You can. Yeah,
so he's been part of recent controversy with some mistakes as well. It is what it is. It's Brighton again as well. I wonder where Brighton would be.
Well,
Brighton would be in the
There's only one thing to do. Just I can have to score a perfectly good goal. It's only one thing.
I'll put him in. Get Daisy on the screen.
Get Daisy on the screen?
I said there's one thing to do. I thought, let's get Daisy on the screen.
Why not? Get those emojis going, guys, before we give you our predictions.
Come on.
I still can't get over Daisy twerking, man. There's so many cow emojis in the chat. It's unbelievable, guys.
Has
Well
anyone
done.
seen the Virgin advert with that fucking big bull on the motorbike?
Yes.
I thought straight away.
Well, maybe we can introduce the two, Billy, and maybe some baby daisies come along.
She was mine, you know. She was mine, you know.
She was yours, Billy. I know. Yes. Rich put a comment in earlier saying, "Paul, my daughter's called Daisy, so I don't know how comfortable I'll be coming up and saying I love Daisy the cow." Just make sure she's not listening to you. God, I think that's the biggest reaction we've had to Daisy with the emojis there in the chat. Sophia, I don't get it. Is there a real person called Fanny Schmeller? Yes, there really is. We're not having you on. She is a skier. It caused a. If you go onto Google after the show and put in
be careful how you spell it if you're going to go onto Google.
Yes, Fanny Schmeller, the chase. She came up in a question, and Bradley Walsh just couldn't hold it together. I mean, he lost the plot completely. It was so funny. And of course, she says, yes, me at Sophia. Right, let's do our predictions, guys. We'll start off with the team lineups. Jack, we'll go with you first. What's your team prediction for Saturday?
I'm going to go Nick Pope in goal.
Yeah.
Fabian Schär, Botman, centre-backs. Trippier right back, Dan Burn left back. I'm going to go 3 in midfield. I'm going to go Bruno, Willock, and Longstaff. And Jolinson on the left, Isak up top, and Gordon on the right.
Oh, you're starting Gordon. Interesting.
Gordon.
Interesting.
I'm starting Gordon.
Did I come out all Bristolian there? Gordon, or some kind of pirate. I don't know what the hell I'm not talking at the minute. Jesus Christ. Alex, your team prediction? R.
I'd probably say the same as Jack's. The only debatable one is Murphy or Gordon. I think this would be a good time to start Gordon based on the controversy. Shit, I can't talk now. You've ruined everybody.
Can I just say, there's a photo of Gordon with a cut on his eye, and someone says, as Eddie Howe showed him who's boss again after the Brentford
you never know. You never know.
So I think Gordon will start, but I think that's the only controversial pick for me this week. I think I'll go the same as Jack, but it could be Murphy, but I think this is the chance to give, to clear up all of that mess. Let Gordon start. Be nice and energetic. Go and have a good performance.
Yeah. Russell says, sorry, that's the wrong one. Andy Capp, aka Dick Tingler. Yeah, that's what he's known as in Germany, I think. Andy Capp, Dick Tingler, which was very strange. Right, Billy, what's your lineup?
Exactly the same as the other two lads. Exactly the same.
Yep. I'm going the same. Wow, that's 4 of us agreeing on the same team lineup. Wow. Listen, I think Eddie will play Anthony Gordon, and he will say to him, "You go out and just prove to everybody why you are part of this squad." Let him off the leash, as Kelvin just says there, without a doubt. I Like Coffee says, I miss the Horseman shows when Paul used to bring out different judges with different accents. Yes, I did. But the Horseman has been and gone. It was great while it lasted. But that is now in a coffin, buried about 40 foot underground. Right, score predictions. Alex, we'll start with you today.
3-1. I think we've got more than enough to score. Plenty of goals against them. I think they might catch us in transition. Even if we don't lose focus, I think they might just catch us. Whether somebody gets lost at the back post, or we get caught on a 3v2 or a 4v3 in transition, maybe they might get a scrappy goal. But I think we've got enough to score 3. I'm going to back the lads to actually convert the chances. I'll go with an Isak. I'm going to go with the Bruno goal because he keeps having one pop a game from about 25 yards, and every time we're like, ooh, because it's really good. I think one of them's going to go in soon. So I'll go with Isak, Bruno, and I'll go with Gordon to break his duck. Why not?
Fair enough. Billy?
I'd say 2-0. I'd say 2-0. I'm sorry, you folks over there. 2-0 to Newcastle. And it'll be Isak.
Whoa. You do not get away with it that easy, Billy Trey. What the hell was that?
The accent or the shit?
Both.
I thought I'd be teething. I don't know. I've got no excuse.
And who were you saying? Who were you talking to when you mentioned
Our
that?
friends across the pond.
All right, okay. Okay.
So 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Not 2-zip. And I think Isak and Bruno will both score. I think it'll be quite an easy game for us, if I'm perfectly honest. I think we'll have them on a leash and we'll keep them at arm's length.
Kev says, I'd love Gordon to score and shove it up all the rubbernecks in the media who went over the top on him. Rubbernecks, wow.
It'd be good.
Billy reminds me of an Alabama pig farmer with that drivel.
Alabama.
The Americans are fighting back. I Like Coffee wants to know. He wants Billy. I Like Coffee wants to know if that was Australian, Billy.
No, mate. No, not bloody Australian.
Hillbilly Trey. Oh, get in. Wow. Right, Alec. Jack.
I'm going to go 3-1. And I'm going to go Isak double. And yeah, I'm going to give Gordon. I think Gordon, this is the time for Gordon to get his first Newcastle goal.
I'm going 3-1 as well, funny enough, guys. I'm going for Isak. Sorry, Alex, go on.
No, yeah. I'll say it after, don't worry.
I'm going for Isak with 2 and Sven Botman.
Oh, God.
He's
We've
got to score eventually.
He's not going to score. Me, Jack, and you have all predicted we're going to concede one. Who do we think Villa's score is going to be?
I think it's going to be a Botman own goal.
So Botman's going to score and score an own goal. Are you all right, Paul?
No, I think Botman will score an own goal. It'll be 2-1, and then he'd go up the last 5 minutes of the game and power in a thunder boost of a header.
He's going to do a big jam.
Why not?
There's a game many years ago, Aston Villa versus Southampton, where Chris Nicholl scored. It was 2-2 it finished. And Chris
I remember that game, Billy. Yeah.
All the goals.
Yeah, 2 own goals and 2 goals.
Right,
and then he joined Southampton from Villa, strange enough. So it was all good, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Just before we go, I have done me historical statistics on this match, by the way. I actually did this yesterday, as people will recall, because I did it a day early. But there you go. Right, we have played Aston Villa a total of 170 times. That's across the board, cup competitions, the whole lot. Villa have won 58 of those games, and Newcastle have won 73, with 39 being drawn. The last Premier League meeting was, of course, Newcastle 4, Villa 0 at St James's Park on the 29th of October last year, with 2 goals from Callum Wilson, Joe Linton scoring, and Miggy. The last Premier League game at Villa Park, can anybody remember that one?
2-0 Villa. 2-0 Villa.
That Danny Ings, the bicycle kick.
Yeah, it was 2-0 with Ings and El Ghazi. That was back in August 2021 when...
Neither of them are there now, are they?
No. Now, the all-time Premier League record against Aston Villa does actually bode very well for us. So we've played Aston Villa 51 times in the Premier League. Villa have only won 11 of those games. We've won 24, with 16 being drawn. Villa have scored 47, with Newcastle scoring 71. So, history tells us that Newcastle do have a good record against Villa in the Premier League, and long may that continue. But hopefully it will, because we always like beating Villa. Anyway, tomorrow night, guys, we have this. We got TTR Friday at 8 o'clock. Don't miss that. There will be probably a lot of debating again, certainly about the negativity that Newcastle have had. We'll be talking about, obviously, the game coming up on Saturday. And, of course, we have the big fat football quiz. So when you get your opportunity to come on and take on one of the hosts with an opportunity to win some prizes. I've seen some great photos on social media today with everybody who's received the prizes. One was young Harry, who won a mug. He was over the moon. So, some great photos on social media. And then at midday on Saturday, join myself for the watch along, 12 o'clock, 12 noon, half an hour build up to the game with all the team news, etc., followed by play-by-play commentary of the game at Villa Park. And we will obviously get halftime analysis from Billy Bob and Alex if he's not in the pub somewhere. So 2 very good shows. Sunday, of course, will be the review again. And we've got a very good show coming up on Monday with me and Billy. So that will be a very good show, but we'll tell you more about that as time goes on. And it's a good show for you guys as well to get involved with. And let us know. It
seems like I'm kicking Alex in the back of the head in that thumbnle of TTR Friday.
Well, I think
Jackie Chan.
Well, you are Jackie Chan. That's why you're doing it. You know, that's just the way it is. Right, that is it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Thursday evening. Over 800 again. You're just absolute legends. But if you have enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that like button before you leave the stream. And, of course, subscribe. Free to do so. Come and join this incredible bunch of rabble that we have on the Toon Review community. And, of course, the notification bell, which lets you know when we go live or we upload. Catch us on all our socials. We are now on Discord as well. I haven't got a proper link for that yet, which we are working on because at the minute we can only send invites, but I think Fez is working on that behind the scenes. So once that's done, we'll start putting the link in the description. We've had about 107 signups to Discord in 2 days, and that's not including the people that were already on the old one. So it's a brilliant place to go to interact with all the other Toon Review fans and, of course, the hosts as well. We're all there, and the mods. Yeah. So you can have a good bit of banter with us. So don't forget to go on there. Thank you to the new members and super chatters from tonight. Mods, thank you again. Billy, Alex, and Jack, thank you for your company. But mainly out to you guys, again, for your phenomenal support of this channel. We really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we'll see you back again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for TTR Friday. Have a great Friday tomorrow, guys. Good night.
How are the lads?